Hello, everybody. Good evening. Welcome back to the stream. It's me, Digi, and we are back in Euro Truck Simulator 2 for I think the very first time in easily a couple of weeks, maybe more, probably more. Because I think the last time I was in Euro Truck Sim, it was, I want to say it was like September, and it was right around the time when Mrs. Digi was getting ready for her outpatient surgery. The only reason I remember is because it was like one of those days where it's like I was off work, so I was like playing during the daytime instead of like streaming closer to nighttime like I usually do. But welcome back to Euro Truck Simulator 2. If you don't have this, this is published by, well, designed by a company called SES Software, and they've made a string of truck sim games over the past, what is it now, like 20 plus years? Suffice it to say, I like trucking because of these folks, specifically because of these folks, in their various permutations in terms of, company names or releases. They just kept making better and better trucking games, and then it turned into a flat out virtual simulation, so I kind of had to hop on board. But let's see. I don't necessarily care about going on the external market, so I could probably just go on cargo market and just haul my way up to the UK. So let's do that tonight. Fortunately, I am apparently in Paris, so let's go from Paris to the UK, because I feel like exploring the UK, this is literally the one place I haven't really spent that much time in, even though there's a lot of cities that I've hit. It's usually been, ports of call. So let's go ahead and hit up Dover for a start, and then see if we can go north from there. We're bringing Atlantic Cod with us. Let's go ahead and get our GPS destination set, and we'll be on our way. Welcome aboard, everybody, and I hope that you've had a great week. This week has been just interesting on so many levels, but clearly, some of you know where I'm going with this, some of you don't. At this point, we're into a new era once again in the U.S. So if you have questions, I'm not the person to ask. I generally don't indulge in discussions on bigger topics unless we're talking about my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. But if there's enough of we'll just call it interest in the Discord, then I might open that topic up to discussion there. But here on stream, it's all good. Welcome aboard, regardless of who you are or where you come from and any other aspect of your life. We welcome you and happy to have you aboard as we go trucking in ETS2 over to Dover in Great Britain. I need to go get the cargo first, and it's going to be an hour and 21 minutes in sim time, so we'll take a look out the window and we will get going shortly. Oof, just missed that pole. But welcome, everybody. We are on our way to... Actually, where are we going? Well, we're going to pick up the cargo in Paris, but we're going to Dover after we get the cargo. All right, let's pay attention. This is a circle. Gotta pay attention. Gotta pay attention. So usually the way that I roll this out is I'm usually going to do two, maybe three deliveries in ETS2, or if I was in American Truck Sim, it'd be two or three deliveries. And then based on time, we'll usually see where we wind up after that. I would like to go as far north into Great Britain as I can, as possible, but we'll see what happens. Kev, good to see you, buddy. Oh, man, it has been too long, my friend. Welcome. We are in France, and we are going to get some cargo, some Atlantic cod, to take with us to Dover. It is good to see you, Fred. Welcome. Folks, if you have not gotten a chance to airplane, nice. If you haven't gotten a chance to follow my good friend Kev Mikwa, or as I like to call him here, Kev. Kev is a very good friend of the channel, and somebody that likes to do cargo ops, of all things, in X-Plane 12, in what some people call the three-holer, the MD-11. But I think you've flown other planes before. Whether or not I've seen you fly them, that's a different question. But I usually see you flying the MD-11, and usually doing your best to, get the bird safely to its destination. So very happy to have you aboard with us. Please, folks, give Kev a follow if you haven't done so yet. You will not be disappointed. I give him my seal of approval. Absolutely, my friend. You're worth it. You're worth every single second of it. Even though all of us secretly wish somebody would come in here, and like dump thousands of dollars of money in donations or thousands of subscriptions on us so that we could start doing this for a living, I think many of us understand the reality that a lot of the times we're not going to wind up turning this into a career. So making friends and really forming bonds with people is more of what this place is about for me. Mrs. Digi continues on the mend slowly. She's very tired right now because she's getting ready for a special day tomorrow. We're going to be going somewhere and selling some craft goods that she made, and we'll see how that turns out. Depending on when I go to bed and when I wake up tomorrow, we'll be on our way, and then we'll spend part of the day there, come back, and relax. I would say that while it hasn't been easy for her, she's been making slow and steady progress towards getting over her, um, let's just call it recent recovery. Because she did have some issues, not that many, but some issues with regards to post-op that we stepped through. But in the past few days, I would say she has just kind of been consistently exhausted. Well, if that's the case, I know why. It's because she's been working on her craft business, and she has been pushing to get ready for this event, which she's going to go do, which we are going to go do tomorrow. Meanwhile, I'm hauling fake cargo to real places and enjoying a break from work. Work has actually been not that crazy, which I praise Yahweh Elohim for. Oh yeah, yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree. And I mean, I I I complained about post-op recovery when I was doing okay, like when I was actually whatchamacallit, just doing regular recovery. She had, for lack of a better phrase, she had a couple complications that we had to take care of. Yeah, but I'm grateful that we are slowly inching past them. And obviously, the unwritten rule in our house is post-op recovery requires spoilage. So we've been getting it in wherever we can, in terms of making sure she's comfy. She's got like little break food and stuff like that. That would be great. Let's get some fuel before we continue, since I notice I'm at half tank. Isn't all the time, because generally, you know, I think everybody's watching their pennies, but I'm also optimistic of the future. All right, 604 euros and one full tank. Let's go. Neat. Oh, actually, you know what? There's something I gotta do. Give me just a moment if you wouldn't mind. I'm going to break immersion here for a bit, but I gotta go take care of something right now. Won't be long. Dun, 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 dun. Give me a bit. And that should do it. I think so. So do I, my friend. So do I. We're going to take it a step at a time. By the way, Kev, want to let you know I have just decided to induct you into the Green Icon Club. I feel it is high time and long overdue. So, first off, my apologies for not bringing you in sooner. Also, like I like to tell all those other folks that have become a part of the Green Sword Club, I appreciate having you aboard, and I value both your friendship and your wisdom. And I believe both are very, very, very good qualities that are required in our community. The green icon. The green icon, which is sometimes called the green sword, which is actually the white sword with a green background, but you get what I mean. Let's go to cargo market, let's pick up our job, and let's go to the UK, shall we? It's in the back. So, welcome to the moderator club, and thank you for being such a trusted part of the community. This represents genuinely the respect and the consideration that I have for you, and the gratitude that I have for you being in my life. All right, now let's go ahead and back the sucker in slowly. Let's see. I may have to do this more than a few times, but we'll see what happens. Actually, that's not that bad. I'm gonna have to fix my angle going the other way, but at the same time, I wasn't expecting to get this. All right, good enough for me. Let's load it up. All right, so we got 4 hours and 6 minutes of sim time to get to Dover, and I suspect that probably 25% of that or more is because of the crossing. We're gonna board the Channel Tunnel, and let me think. It's probably going to be somewhere between maybe 15 to 20 minutes of real time. So, let's get going. And nobody's coming this way, and I'm glad I exited that way. I'm imagining mainly band and shoutouts. Seriously, Kev, you've been a very bands and autocorrects and shout outs. But yeah, I get you. I get you. You have been you have been a trusted friend. Seriously. And it whenever I get to catch you on your stream and see you flying, it's always a great time, you know, sending the dad jokes out like they're going out of style, but they never do. And in general, just enjoying your company. And you have been a good friend. It's a privilege knowing you, and I sincerely pray Yahweh's blessings over your life and your family and all the things that you want to do or that you're shooting to try to do. Seriously, it's a privilege having you here. Okay, so 3 hours 58 minutes. I suspect it's probably closer to 3 hours of sim time or 2.5 hours of sim time because again, the channel crossing is going to take some of that time away. But we'll see. We shall see. Got lots of passenger traffic. Passenger vehicles. Oh, in an RV. I guess they do sell them overseas, don't they? Kind of look weird. Let's hit it. Got it, my friend. Absolutely. So, first delivery of the evening is some Atlantic cod to Dover in Great Britain. We are well on our way, and already I am speeding. Slow down, Digi. Slow it down. Use your cruise control. Be a good boy. I mean, it is specifically possible for me to absolutely floor the gas pedal because I'm not doing a World of Trucks delivery. And if I take away traffic offenses, then basically I can do whatever I want. But I generally try to enjoy the driving that I do because if I took traffic offenses away, like if I disabled the ability to get pulled over, not pulled over, but be fined, then I wouldn't have any real kind of like motivation to drive a certain way. Yes, they do. They do. So I want to make sure I'm on best behavior here. Trying to be. Trying to be. But that's the thing. That's the thing about knowing Christ as Lord and Savior. We don't have to try. He's helped us out in many ways. This should be the pass-through. This should be. Yep. That's why I like using these lanes. Because I don't have to stop. Yeah. So I think... Actually, hold on a moment. Let me check my options. I should have traffic offenses turned on. Yeah, there we go. So they're turned on. They're turned on. And I have random road events. Detour set to 17%. I'm probably gonna bump this up to about 5%, just because I'm curious about what random road events look like. So we'll see. Because random road events happen in real life too, correct? But now we are well on our way to Calais, to the shores of France, to the northern shores of France. And we are going to, how you say, cross the channel. As always, folks, if I'm talking too low, or if the sim volume is too loud, or if there's just the levels are crummy, let me know. I can adjust them. I can try as best as I can. And maybe even at some point eventually invest in a slightly better audio setup. I don't know. I mean, we'll take it a step at a time, but Of course, taking advantage of the opportunity to let you guys know it's coming on the end of November and coming into December. In December, I think there is a non-zero chance that I'm going to be taking a brief sabbatical from Twitch, like going dark, as in you won't see me for probably a couple of weeks. And there's reasons for that. And no, I'm not like breaking down. It's more of a cross between some upcoming things and personal decisions. So it's like this. I have I have talked about this on stream before, and we'll go over it briefly. But essentially, here's the thing: Twitch is a great place for me to find friends, to forge connections, to talk to people, and to share my hobbies with the world. When I hop on to Euro Truck Sim 2 or American Truck Sim or MSFS or X-Plane and I fly and I share that with people, it's because I want people to see what I'm up to. If the only reason I want to do something is because I want to go on Twitch and have people watch me, then it goes from me wanting to share my time with people to me saying, you know, in the words of the current meme, acknowledge me. Like, give me attention. I deserve it. No, no. So, essentially, um, in one sense, I kind of want to. I'm kind of cringing right now. The word is not detox because I'm not trying to detox per se, but I am trying to disable any kind of attitude or pretension that sets itself up against my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And I don't necessarily need to be on Twitch at all now or in future to enjoy myself in the computer, to play a flight sim, to play a game, to do anything without having to be in front of somebody. That's also not why, but it doesn't hurt for me to do a bit of a temporary break. And given that I'm probably going to be spending a lot of time with family and friends over the next month and a half anyway, the timing is great because, again, it's an opportunity for me to go, hey, if I'm going to have fun, I'm going to have fun. We'll chat with people. Like, I'll chat with people that are right next to me. But I'm not going to need to be on Twitch all the time to make stuff like that happen. At a minimum, it's probably going to be a week. It might be more, but we'll see what happens. And essentially, I'm going to enjoy myself for a little while and probably come back to Twitch streaming with a whole bunch of ideas and, newly stoked passion to get stuff done. Oh wow, whatever this dude's driving has a lot of horsepower. He's pulling away. But then again, I have a lot of fish in the cargo hold, so there we go. And that's okay. If he's going faster than I am, then I'm good. Where was I? Oh yeah, the whole conversation about a kind of intentional block out for 1 or 2 weeks in December. Yeah, it's nothing huge. It's not a major big deal. It's just something that I've chosen to do for the sake of taking a break to come back with either new ideas or just in general a chance to get fresh perspective. Which is usually what happens most of the time. I'll give you a big fat for instance. Last year I went to Alaska and I was gone for literally about I mean, I was on vacation for 2 weeks, but essentially, like, even though I kind of like occasionally saw people on Twitch, after a certain point, when you get up there and you get into parts of the country where you do not have reception, it really does become a new journey. So it was definitely an adventure, not necessarily an experience for me in the sense that it was like, oh, well, I've never whatchamacallit it gone on gone on without like Twitch for like 2 or 3 weeks. It was something that I was just like, oh, okay, it's gonna happen. And then I came back and I was like, oh man, like this is what happened. I shared pictures and it was just like, hey, I went here, I did this, and now I'm back. I have not boarded the train to the UK in the sim in a long time. All right, we know where we're going. We are going to Folkestone. Nice. Okay, so which way do we go? We probably go on the right. That was a quick trip. Quick trip. And we're only at 47 minutes of sim time, which I think, again, lent credence to my theory that we were going to lose at least an hour of sim time to get over to the UK. And again, because I haven't been in the UK driving a truck in a long time, this is going to probably be a little weird, but so be it. Welcome to Great Britain, everybody. And no speed limit on this stretch, so I'm opening the truck up. I don't know how long it takes to ride the train from the UK to France or from France to the UK, but I would imagine it would be probably something close to an hour each way. Like from the closest French city to the closest city on the coast. The closest British city on the coast. That's what I was trying to say. This is kind of weird. Brain's like, you're driving on the wrong side of the road. No, we're fine. This is as intended. It is proper raining outside. Now we're on the A20, driving away from Folkestone. And on our way to Dover. For just a second, I was like, oh, am I gonna see my first Aston Martin? Nope, Ford Mustang. I guess they import them here. This is not my first expedition into the UK, but tonight I'm going to see how far north I can drive. Oh, we got some roadworks. Let's make sure I stay legal. Ooh, gotta be really slow. Or that was just a really brief sector. Okay, this is a little confusing. Speed cameras in use. And yes, I have gotten tagged by these things before, so it's like, no, you gotta watch yourself. You you can argue with a police officer. You can't argue with a speed camera. All right. And just like that, we've come into a city. We've come into Dover. Let's make a left turn. Proper left turn. Gotta be careful. Okay, not bad, not bad, not bad. I'm good, I'm happy. Let's continue. I haven't come through here in a long time, so I'm happy to be back. Oh, careful, careful. Let's inch on through. Looks like there's a port here for shipping. I guess I could have taken a boat too if I wanted. All right, here we go. And let's see, because tonight I don't even feel like playing it safe and being ultra lazy. I'm just going to say I'm in a hurry. There we go. Atlantic cod fillets delivered from Paris to Dover. 5 hours, 18 minutes of sim time, which translates to probably just over, I'd say maybe like 10 or 12 minutes. Yeah. Let's see, I am level 30, so I got an extra proficiency bonus. And that's good. Let's take a look at current company offers and see how far north I can go. I can go to Felixstowe. I can go back to Brussels or Liège. No. We're going to go up to Felixstowe. Oh, excuse me. We went to Dover, and this is Felixstowe. We can take some fresh herbs to Felixstowe from Dover. Let's go. Coastal town. All of a sudden I'm hearing Morrissey in my head. But a Thursday afternoon in the sim, and it's a Friday night here in real life. We are about to do our second delivery for the night, possibly our last one, depending on how I feel when we get there. There might be a third one, probably will be. No, no, no. In and in, and then good enough. Whatever. I'm not going for perfection here, I'm going for deliveries. Let's go. Okay, so I gotta mind myself here. Folks coming at me straight from the sidewalk. Well, not straight from the sidewalk, but just it's closer. So, if y'all don't mind, I'm just gonna go ahead and cut in. I'm hoping that the sun coming out means that the rain is going to disperse shortly, but we will see. One thing that's thoroughly pleasing me about Euro Truck Sim and American Truck Sim has always been how they've handled clouds. It just, I mean, whether it's a skybox that's just created so well, or whether it's actually really well rendered virtual clouds, they're just fantastic. Remember, Digi, speed cameras, mind the gap and mind your speed. These lanes are narrow too. It's a great night for trucking. All right, up to 80 kilometers per hour. We can stay on the A2 to keep going to Felixstowe. And we are continuing on the route. Proceed to the route. And a fine how do you do to all those watching online or watching on the replay. If you're a lurker, no worries. You never have to say anything. You never have to do anything. By you simply being here, you are boosting the channel algorithm. As far as I know, at least. So thank you. And by all means, thank you for joining. Now, we do appreciate engagement, so if you say hi or you want to strike up a conversation, you're more than welcome to do so. I'm also gladly accepting follows. They're free all the time. And while they're never expected, donations, cheers, and subs are a great way to show your support of the content. I normally do occasional flights in Microsoft Flight Simulator, once in a great while, maybe X-Plane, and they are peppered between lots of scenery development streams, which I do on a regular basis. Most of those streams are silent streams. I usually just crack into laying down groundwork or working on, creating something in Blender, which is a 3D modeling program, and then I will be busy about the task of creating something. So there's that. If you don't see me streaming, it's probably because I'm in someone else's channel on Twitch, hanging out, engaging in the conversation, and generally enjoying whatever content I am consuming. But I try to be on stream usually, and I'm going to say usually, I usually try to be on stream 2 to 3 times a week, but at the same time, kind of like this week, Sometimes things happen, and in general, I will I will take impromptu breaks. In fact, for a while, I was kind of semi-retired. I barely streamed, and that was like, I want to say sometime between the end of 2021. No, that was somewhere between the beginning of 2022 to probably about that summer. And that's kind of when I discovered that I had an eye for scenery development in Microsoft Flight Simulator. And I'd done scenery development before, it's just that I hadn't done it in a very long time. So I chose to get back into it, and in so doing, rebranding myself. Chat, we're on the M25. I think this is a somewhat famous highway. I don't know if you would call this the I-95 of Great Britain, but this one does seem to carry some lore, some backstory, some of which I don't know. But I was born and raised a city kid for a long time. I grew up in and around major metropolitan areas, so when I got my driver's license, the highway was kind of like my home, and that's how I got around, because I didn't have that much money to be able to buy an airplane ticket to fly wherever I wanted to go. But back in the day, gasoline was supremely inexpensive, and I was able to, hop in my car and go for a drive. I mean, can you imagine just getting inside your car, turning the key, and just going out for a drive, just because you want to, just because you wanted to, quote unquote, mellow out? Can you imagine that? I used to do that. Have fun going somewhere, especially somewhere I hadn't been to before, and then, come home. But by all means, I mean, some people still do that. It's just that it takes more money to do it. These things happen. But this isn't bad. I haven't been on this highway. It looks like there's quite a natural center divider here. Roads like this exist IRL in my neck of the woods as well. Is this lane going to merge? I don't know. We will see. Well, pardon me. Thank you. This 3-lane became a 2-lane faster than I was anticipating. That's alright. Also, props to SCS software for remaking existing sceneries. In American Truck Simulator, they're remaking California. In Euro Truck Simulator, they're remaking, or already remade, Germany. I have yet to buy Spain, or the Iberia DLC as it's called, because I'm waiting for the next sale, and I'm hoping the Iberia DLC is inexpensive. But we will see. Yeah, if you're eyeing up Euro Truck Sim or American Truck Sim, and if you can wait a good month to maybe month and a half, then essentially what's going to happen for you is that you will be able to most likely score a good sale on the sim the scenery mod, like the scenery maps, probably some mods like, you know, extremely heavy equipment. So we'll see. Ooh, an Audi. Nice. Usually, usually what happens is you will wind up scoring some very great deals on map expansions. If you haven't expanded the territory that you can drive a truck in, they'll have some kind of scenery map expansion catch-up bundle, which will let you get a bunch of things that you don't already have for a relatively substantial discount. Okay, I am going to merge. Sorry, my guy. Let's go to swim. All right. We are about 24 minutes of sim time away from arriving at Felixstowe. And my brakes are super powerful and sticky. Wow. That was a steeper drop than I anticipated. But now we're coming in. Let's get merged over to the left and let the faster traffic pass us on the right. And now we are locked into the home stretch. I think there's like traffic mods that I can download to make so many more of the typical vehicles appear on the road. And I think I had something like that not too long ago, but that was like 6, 7, 8 different versions of the sim back then. So it's not a humongous, that is a, well, no, I'm sorry, that is a humongous amount of updates that have happened since then. And I'm interested in going back to Japan, but two things have to happen. I either have to deliberately choose to run version 1.43 again and use the limited map expansion that was there, or I need to buy the Iberia DLC and then download the latest map expansion for Japan, which is, as far as I know, still available, but we gon' see. Right, I gotta be careful. I really gotta be careful. Woo-hoo-hoo. Just made it past the truck. I don't know how close I got to that car. I should try to be more careful next time. Yeah. But we are a kilometer away from our next delivery point, and let me see. It is almost 11 o'clock, so honestly, I don't know. Do I want to do a third delivery? I mean, I could. But these two deliveries have been great, and I might just call it and then just have fun offline or while listening to some of my other fave streamers that are, I think, probably already either in progress or warming up. Plus, I think there's a strong chance, a very strong chance, that I might hit up some ramen tonight before the night's said and done. 3 hours, 32 minutes of sim time, which means I've taken roughly 8 hours and 45 minutes of sim time, which translates to roughly 3/4 of 40 minutes. So if you take a look at my stream time, how long have I been on? Okay, 51 minutes. That's not bad. That's not bad. Let me take a look at current offers. Can we even go further north in Great Britain right now if I chose it? That is 6 hours and 49 minutes, which would be roughly half of a 20 to 25-minute stretch. But given the propensity for speed limits to change at the flip of a, sign, I'm not sure if I want to go to Newcastle tonight. But you know what? I said I wanted to go as far north as I could reasonably in the sim. So we're going to go one more delivery. That should be roughly about a half an hour's time. And then I will be fashionably late, but I will raid. So let's go ahead and take this job. We're delivering some Noki to Newcastle. Let's go. It'll be my first time visiting. And it's on the other side of the loading dock. Should I be ultra lazy and just say, load me, I'm ready to go, I don't feel like waiting? I mean, I could probably, whatchamacallit, load this in, and then at least I'll have loaded my truck, 3 times or whatever you want to say. What's that? Oh. Can I fix this? I don't know. I could probably fix it by going forward. There we go. That's pretty good. And that's probably about as good as it's going to be in terms of perfect load up for me today. So I'm happy with that. All right, so a night mission to Newcastle. And gotta mind the traffic. Let's go. I'm coming through. So we're on our way. One last run tonight, and we're giving it the beans. We're really giving it the beans. We're on our way out of Felixstowe. We've taken in some revenue during tonight's ops. We've got roughly 800,000 euros of profit that we made, minus I think expenses, upkeep, salaries. The sim doesn't have any kind of garage maintenance or like contract expenses yet. So at least I don't have to think about that in terms of the garages that I currently have. I think I have somewhere on the order of about 30-ish garages across multiple countries. I haven't actually managed my garages since the last time I checked, but I've probably got something on the order of 75 to 80 drivers. And if I sim for an hour, if I sim for an hour and a half, then that's usually going to be somewhere on the order of at least 800,000 to €1 million, if not more. So I've got like 6.1 million. At one point I had like 13, but then I bought a bunch of garages, hired a bunch of drivers, and bought a bunch of trucks. So it's one of those things where it's like, oh, okay, well, yeah, we're in a building phase, which means we're going to be expanding, we're going to be spending lots of money, and that's exactly what we did. Okay, and I did want to get in this lane because I do want to go up. Not up the hill that way, but up the hill on the road. And let's go. I've driven in the UK, but this is the first time I can recall driving in the UK at night. No need for services, I've still got plenty of fuel. Although I might hit services before I arrive at a destination. "97 kilometers per hour" is, I think, something on the order of 55 miles an hour. I think. Oop, we got volume. I had to change lanes anyway, so I'm happy that happened. There goes another police car. They're like, yeah, they're they're right on you. So, obeying the speed limit is highly advisable if you have traffic offenses turned on. There is a speed camera. Beautiful sunset. There goes a Model X. Wow. Nice. We got some more services coming in about, I think it said something like 3 kilometers. 3 or 12? I don't know. Oh, okay, they're coming up. It's just what we call in the States a rest area. Do I want to pull over? Still got plenty of gas. I am good. And thank you. That'll do it. In case you're curious, This is what I'm driving. It's pretty. Okay, I want to be in this lane anyway, so I'm moving over. I think I'm on the A14 right now. Oh no, that's where I'm gonna go. The M11 is off to my left. And now I think it's designated the A14. Or at least that was on the A14. A little confusing. But so be it. We probably have something on the order of about 15 to 20 more minutes IRL time before we wrap up tonight. This is the third and final delivery. We're delivering Noki to Newcastle. And we started in Paris, in France, and we crossed the channel, delivered to Dover, then went to Felixstowe with, I forget what it was actually. What did we deliver in Felixstowe? I'm trying to remember and I forgot what it was, but we're delivering Noki to Newcastle. Alright, let's be friendly and move out of the speed lane. This is going to bother me. I'm trying to figure out what it was that I delivered. Oop, careful, Digi. Do not run into the rear bumper of that Beamer. You don't want to do that. Ooh, roadworks? Let's go. Roadworks on a highway. Slow down. Digi sings the tour. But what was it? What was it? Whatever it was, we had to use the refrigerated truck for it. See? There we go. It's that easy to get a speeding ticket in the UK. Just like that. There we go. I supported the local government. That's funny. I wasn't paying attention trying to figure out what it was that I've delivered, and then blip. They gave you a warning too, so that's funny. There we go. 4 hours, 33 minutes of sim time to go. A little bit more than my first delivery. Lumpy, good evening, my friend. Welcome aboard. Hey, by the way, I want to give you again one additional congratulations on your recent release on the Microsoft Flight Simulator Marketplace. Very happy to have you aboard, and you are truly an inspiration. Happy to have you here. We're in Euro Truck Simulator 2, and we are delivering some Noki to Newcastle. And because I wasn't paying attention, and because I was being a bit of a, let's just say, slightly incompetent truck driver. I picked up my first speeding violation in the sim in a long time, which is kind of funny, but also kind of like, hey, I better pay attention. This is how things work out. So, because we have 4 hours and 20 minutes worth of time, I'm going to go ahead and hit the accelerator and pass this vehicle and the semi because I'm trying to get there. But welcome aboard. And I know it's been a long time since you've done it, and you might not have any plans to do so in the future. But folks, I did get the privilege of seeing my friend Wombi stream once or twice upon a time. And if you ever get a chance to, it'll be an interesting experience. So, I mean, maybe give Wombi a follow. Who knows? Maybe Wombi will stream. But welcome aboard, friend. Happy to have you. Definitely home stretch for the stream, because after this, we're going to go ahead and raid someone, and and then I'm going to hang out with Mrs. Digi. It's been a fast day, and it's definitely been a fast week, and I am happy to be on the finish line level here. But hopefully everybody's having a good evening. Or good morning. Or good afternoon, depending on what corner of the world you're in. I know that World Flight is going to be wrapping up very soon for all of the charity teams, some of which I had the opportunity to see on stream live. It's insane to think a week of time has already gone by. Thank you so much. Let's hit the gas. Oh yeah. I believe me when I say this, Wombi. You have my utmost respect, and I totally get you. I am not what you would call a career streamer. Yes, I have aspirations of consistency and a desire to stream more and produce content that people will like to see. But as I've heard a non-zero number of streamers say, just stream what you want to stream, and then the people will come. A couple of years ago, I rebranded from being almost exclusively into flight simming to being a scenery developer streamer. And the rebranding is what it is, and I'm going to create scenery, and I'm going to do my best to have fun. And if I don't feel like it because I'm not feeling the best, then I'm probably not going to stream scenery development, or I might just stream offline. I might just dev offline. So there are many days, there may be even some weeks where it's just like my brain's like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't have it. I used to only stream once a week and try to be consistent that way. But then when I started getting into scenery development recently, in the past several months, I said, okay, we're going to go ahead and do nightly streams where I stream with no sound and just dev and create what I create, and then we'll wind up where we do. And I feel like that's actually worked out pretty nicely. In general, I will usually be more consistent when I know all I have to do is hit 30 to 45 minutes a night streaming something, and then the only thing left over is to just be consistent, do it around the same time every night, and then anybody that's following along will be able to see what I'm doing, or ask me questions, or just come and hang. And something as seemingly insignificant as a 30-minute stream as often as I can at a set time every night I think is going to be what's going to unlock the next level of streaming endurance, if you will. Oh yeah, yeah. I don't doubt that for a second. Again, it's. I mean, okay. In the hierarchy of like Twitch, I know from the get that flight sim streaming, even though it's great to do, for some people may not be that great to watch. And flight sim scenery development streaming is probably going to be even less of a of a visual kickback. So if you've got a non-zero number of people watching you do scenery development, that's already a win. I don't care how many it is. If you have a meaningful conversation with just one of them, you know, that's progress. Um, and that's kind of the yardstick that I've used in terms of determining whether or not people actually are watching, because they do watch, and some even say hello. But yeah, to stream scenery development and to actually be chatty on the microphone at the same time, that takes energy and drive, because it is gonna slowly eat away at your focus. And so what you could have probably gotten done in a half an hour is probably going to take you about 45 minutes to an hour as you talk to chat, explain what you're doing, and then continue. Which is why the majority of my dev streams are quiet ones. But at the same time, occasionally I'll do a chatty stream just to talk to people that are curious about scenery development or that want to know more about what I'm doing. And I think I have aspirations of creating a YouTube channel and doing long form tutorial videos, especially when, especially when Flight Sim 2024 comes out, because that way I can then, instead of having long form streams, I'll have long form YouTube videos, and I might do some streams where I'm recording those videos, and then I'll put them out there so people can actually see them, follow them along, and see some of the thought process that goes into explaining how things work to other people. Excuse me. It is definitely not easy to do all that, you know, while doing scenery dev, but I think there is a small and potentially growing subset of Twitch viewers that are appreciative. And of course, I like sharing my time with people. I like developing airports for people, because that's what goes to fly to airports, people. And in general, my target is small to slightly regional airports. And hopefully the next few months and years will give me a chance to really dig into it. I used to think I wanted to make a lot of money as a scenery developer, and I think anybody wants to make a lot of money at whatever it is they're doing. But like my friend Pierluck said a few nights ago, the reality of me starting a business is that the first indeterminate chunk of time is going to be largely not very profitable. Like the valley between you doing your full-time regular job and then bootstrapping your business and starting as an independent, it's either a short valley or a long valley. And I think the reality is it's not impossible to cross. It just takes a lot of discipline and commitment. You know, I can't, if I'm going to be a pro scenery developer, I can't just like stream any flights, any trucking whenever I want to. Sure, one night a week, go for it. That's fine. That's what we need to do. We need to chill. But at the same time, I need to focus. And by focusing, I mean if I'm going to stream one category and do it well. And I will say that I am going to be redoing my airports, all of my airports, from scratch. Every single airport that I've released on FlightSim.to, I think it's a great first target to have. I think I have 4 or 5 airports there, which I'm probably going to redo instead of just converting them, so that I can take full advantage of the ecosystem, and then have like a base level airport that I release on flightsim.co, and then potentially go to sim market with a higher fidelity version of the airport, so that I can use that as a starting point. Almost. Yeah. Um, the draw would be, hey, create a nice looking upgrade from the default airport, like I did, in the MSFS days right now, and then say, once I get really comfortable, release a payware version of it. And for some people, they'd be happy with the default, some people will be happy with the default airport. Some people will be happy with the more upscaled, bespoke version. And then some people will be happy with a payware version that really has the details that make them go, hey, I took classes here. I sat in that chair. And that'll inspire stories. And people will be like, wow. And that's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm shooting for. Creating content, downloadable content that makes people sit up and pay attention. And people like you have been an inspiration to me to put out a higher level of quality in terms of the scenery that I'm creating, or the atmosphere that I guess I'm trying to evoke. Is it easy? No. Does it take a lot of time? Yes. I think one of the single biggest frustrations that I have as a scenery developer is that I want to finish an airport inside of a week, and realistically, an airport of almost any size other than extremely, extremely small takes upwards of months, half a year, years to do, if you want to create that airport with a keen eye for details. And I certainly don't have to tell you that. You know that way better than I do. But it's a journey. It is an absolute journey. One which I hope to get better at in the near future. But of course, to get better at that journey, what has to happen is I have to first keep making content, and second, I have to get more and more comfortable with the tools that I'm using to create said content. And then third, I just have to have the experience and the confidence to be able to keep putting myself out there, keep learning, keep growing, and maybe get to a better place. But it takes time. And I think while I enjoy the idea of the journey, I'm usually a lot happier when I can get from one end of the journey to the other in a relatively short period of time. Look at that. It's a truck with a Volvo logo, and I'm driving a Volvo truck. Well, the Volvo brand name, which is cool. Alright, so I'm 31 minutes of sim time away from the delivery point. 31 minutes is just sim time. It's, I don't know, a couple of minutes IRL. I'm just going to hit up the services really fast to get some gasoline, and then we can pull into town, and that will set me up for the next trip. And there we go. I feel like that's a good business decision. I think, well, at some point, you know, you're you're gonna have to make money. So if you take a version of an airport that you made, and you tweak it, you improve it, you release it as payware, you basically say, okay, either we're gonna make it or we're not gonna make it. You okay? Okay. But yeah, um, I support your change. Excuse me, I support your decision. You gotta kind of stick your neck out there, and the quality will breed the sales. Like, I think when I start selling sceneries, I'm probably gonna have to sell them at least at $8 to $10 US to recoup at least a portion of the time. And they'll still be relatively inexpensive, and people will be like, hey, all right, thanks for the detail. Or they'll complain about it, and I'll see that. And then I'll either have to pivot around a cheaper price point to sell my sceneries at, or I will need to just kind of stick to my guns and say, hey, um, I'm releasing for FS 2024 now, so this is how it is. But yeah, I don't, I don't think there's going to be a need to be standoffish at all. I think most people will probably board the train and buy DLC, and people will especially buy DLC if they know they're going to get a very good experience out of it, as opposed to um, having somebody do the absolute bare minimum, which is what I'm trying to avoid doing by porting. By not, I'm not going to even bother trying to port my sceneries over. I would start over, and I would make it worth someone's while to just have a better grasp, not a better grasp of the ecosystem, but excuse me, a better looking airport. Yes, most airports should be installable with absolutely no problem, like my Whiskey 904 scenery, which was Camp Peary landing strip. But at the same time, if I start a project like that over, then it's going to be a new opportunity for me to make it even better. All right, Newcastle upon Tyne, and we are here. And this is the first time I've actually gotten here. And I don't want to hit the car in front of me, so I'm going to try to be more careful. This one's going to be another lazy drop-off, especially since we're coming up on the end of the night. And I will definitely be signing off at this point. But we have made it. Wonderful. I'm very happy about this. Superb. Yeah, no, I'm too lazy even for that. 7 hours and 2 minutes. So that means essentially I've driven 15 hours and some odd minutes, maybe 16 hours and some odd minutes of virtual drive time. We've driven at least, I want to say, probably like 1,000 kilometers today, which is, it doesn't feel like it because it's a compressed map and accelerated time. But this one made me over 16,500 euros, which is great. I'm almost at level 31. And if I take a look at my company, let's take a look at the garage manager real quick. I have 79 garages owned and 395 garage slots available because a lot of the garages still don't have drivers or trucks in them. But in terms of drivers, I have plenty of them. Let me go to the garage. Let me pick a random garage and say Liverpool. I have drivers driving the Mercedes-Benz trailer, and average daily profit here is 17,000 euros plus, which is good. Mine has an average negative profit because I, as a goofball, sometimes step away from the sim for a while, and that means that my drivers have to carry me. But since I own every single company, I think they can forgive me for that. But With that said, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm going to go ahead and pull the e-brake and turn the truck off for the evening. I appreciate everybody tuning in, especially those that said hello. Uh, Thank you to my lurkers. You guys have boosted the algorithm yet again. If anybody's watching that just doesn't like talking sometimes, that's great. Again, I like my lurkers. I really appreciate them. You guys help me out. So let me take a look real quick and see who's on. Although I have a pretty good idea of who I'm going to go raid. Let me see, just in case that changed. Who do we have on right now? Studio Canuck is flying. Simfest UK is also flying. And my friend Sim Caesar is doing Dencha de Go, which is a truck. I'm not truck, a train sim. But definitely, I think I'm going to go say hi to Sim Caesar. Well, have a great night. Thanks so much for the conversation. Really appreciate you. Have a great weekend. So, everybody else, sit tight. We're going to go ahead and raid Sim Caesar, say hello, and I'm probably going to grab some ramen because I have a little bit more fuel left in my tank before I zonk out for the night. Much love to you all, and like I always like to say at the end of every stream, if you want true peace, you really do want the Prince of Peace, and that's Jesus Christ. Take care, friends. Have a great night. Much love to you all, and stand by to raid Sim Caesar. We'll see ya.